Oh, fingers moved. There we go. Greetings, fellow humans. I am back again, and I'm doing this video a little bit later than my norms. And I was wondering, like, when I was coming on here, I'm like, what do I want to talk about? What did I learn today? Just a little reflection, right? It's a Jupiter energy day, right? Very expansion, growth energy. So naturally, I'm like, well, what's Jupiter doing? And I started looking at Jupiter and I'm like, well, Jupiter's still in Cancer. It just went direct recently. It was retrograding for a minute and it's been in Cancer for a minute. And then I was like, what did you do today, Kyra? I was like, well, today, in the middle to most of my day, I spent time with my mother. We went and had a wonderful day together. And I was just like, okay, so Jupiter in Cancer, it's a very nurturing space. I was like, I was learning a little bit about what that felt like in real time. So I thought, okay, this is the perfect time to talk about Jupiter in Cancer because it's about to enter its final stage, going into the final decan of Cancer before it makes its transition into Leo around June 30th, give or take, depending on where you're at and stuff in the world. So I thought it was perfect to talk about the middle to end game of Jupiter in Cancer and what it's really calling, because we've had time now to sit with Jupiter in Cancer and see what it's been trying to expand and to help us heal in our lives by being in Cancer. Currently, as I'm recording this, Jupiter in Cancer is at 15 degrees. So it's right in the middle. And it retrograded at 15 degrees too. So it's a perfect energy to start talking about it because you can reflect on what Jupiter has been like for you and maybe what the rest of Jupiter's journey through Cancer is going to feel like before it moves into Leo. And then going into Leo, you can have witnessed, experienced, absorbed, and now found the knowledge and wisdom from your experience with Jupiter in Cancer and bring that good energy into Leo. So Jupiter is currently moving through Cancers and we're in the final stages of this energy before it shifts to Leo. So this is a really important moment to pause and ask, what has been growing inside of me? Right? Cancer is the nurturing space. It's the inner world. It is the reflection. It is the mother. And it can be a feminine mother, a maternal mother, but it's also your own mother. It's your nurturing energy. So it's a wonderful question to ask that of what's been growing inside of me with Jupiter in Cancer. What has been trying to be born, and whether that is Jupiter has come in and shown you ways that you have been experiencing or engaging in certain nurturing relationships, certain Cancer themed energies, especially wherever this is transiting in your chart. And not just where it's transiting in your chart, but what it's aspecting to other houses, because just because a planet is transiting in a certain house in your chart does not mean that it is not being affected by other houses or causing an energy to happen in another house, right? If Jupiter is transiting in your 10th house, that means that your 11th house is the first from your 10th house. So your 11th house is experiencing a more personal identification and reception of how the world receives you in your 11th house space, dealing with that Jupiter in Cancer, right? That house that planet is transiting becomes the first house for that planet. Not to say it pulls the themes of it, but the houses that are following it or behind it will start to feel the influence, just like they are in a placement of, say the first house, the second house, the third house. So it's really cool when you look at your houses and what's transiting and look at, okay, so if Jupiter's transiting my 10th house in Cancer, how is my 11th house, my 12th house, which is now feeling the energy of value? So, you might be showing more of a value space on your hidden unknown realm, your spirituality, your dreams, your inner world. Things might become revealed to you on what you value because it's now holding second house energy to that Jupiter in the 10th, right? So it's really cool. So let's go back and break down just what Jupiter represents. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and growth, the planet of wisdom, belief, and meaning. It is the seed. I always think of Jupiter as what Saturn, Father Time, structure, and discipline has grown, right? It has grown Jupiter, and Jupiter and Saturn have this relationship almost like father and son, where Jupiter is the legacy. Jupiter is about belief. It's about past the place of hoping, past the place of desiring. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, bless me. Pardon me. Expanded in my gas energy. Past the place of desire, past the place of the thought, the idea. This is now the belief. You have thought the thought, had the desire, then had the correlating experiences in order to flesh out the desire and the thought. And now through those experiences and the wisdom and reflection that you take from it, it has formed a belief inside of you. That is Jupiter. Jupiter is also what gives meaning to these beliefs. It is the understanding and knowing of adding all of that together. It doesn't just grow things outwardly, it expands your understanding of life. Through what you experience outside of you helps you to expand what you know, but you are bringing you into the outside world. You're expanding into it. And then when we think about Cancer, which is where Jupiter is currently, Cancer is the energy of the inner world. It's the emotions. Emotions are like our water. It's like our blood, right? It is fueling everything through. It is fuel. It's fuel. Like if we're a car, your emotions are your fuel. That is going to be what gets you to different places, is your emotions. Someone made a comment on one of my videos talking about when I was talking about using emotions in certain ways. And they were like, yeah, it would be amazing to go Super Saiyan on someone, which is like a Dragon Ball reference of like an elevated state that you can get to when you are experiencing maybe a traumatic emotion or a very high degree of emotion in a negative way. And you utilize that and then you just expand to this just like ultimate being level where you're just unstoppable, right? That's what emotions are capable of doing for you. And Jupiter is expanding that. You might go Super Saiyan on someone. Like I might be saying it funny, but you guys know what I mean. If anyone who watches Dragon Ball Z or has watched it, Super Saiyan, like whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong on pronunciation, but sometimes I don't play too much into pronunciation. Sometimes I say things right, sometimes I don't. And right is right and wrong is wrong to some people, so it doesn't really matter to me. Just hopefully you know what I'm saying, and if you are a stickler to words sounding a certain way, correct me. Thank you for that. But yeah, back to Cancer. Cancer energy is about the home. It can be the home that you build for yourself or the home that you keep within yourself to keep yourself safe and nurtured, right? It's your family. It could be the family that you're born into, the family you create for yourself, or the family that you are to yourself. Just because you have a mother and a father outside of you does not mean that you are not supposed to mother and father yourself. You are always going to be that inner child, and at one point you will learn to care for yourself. Doesn't mean that your parents in the external world will ever like necessarily stop caring for you. If they ever did or didn't, that's going to be based on your experience that you're having. But you're here to like become a parent to yourself, and your parents can be a wonderful example of how you can do that because you loved how they parented you, or you didn't like how they parented you, so you learn how to parent you that works for you. It's all a gift. It's all a lesson. And that's one thing Cancer energy is big on. It's on family. Your created family, your born family, and your internal family. And then safety. Cancer energy is so rooted in safety of the self and making sure that you are protected. And that comes from a space of knowing that you are the most precious thing in the world and being able to take care of that. bringing it into the physical element as well as your emotional space. But once you feel safe within yourself, it's a lot easier to feel safe in your environment, irregardless of what's going on in your environment. That actually starts to make your environment shift to you. And if that sounds impossible because of a situation that you're experiencing, I know that's probably hard to hear, but just if you can, try it out, try to shift and see what happens when you start learning how to feel safe within yourself, no matter where you are. Life works in beautiful ways. It will move people out of your life if it needs to and get you in the right situation so that your inner safety is reflected in your external world. It's a beautiful thing. It's a choice that you get to make for you. So choose to feel safe, and whatever you need to do to get that feeling, do it. That's a part of Cancer energy too. It's a part of the emotions. They're here to guide you towards what feels good, what feels safe for you. Cancer governs how you care for yourself and what makes you feel emotionally secure. And this transit is helping you. I just saw 11:11 on the clock. Let's make a wish. That was beautiful. What you're looking to establish for yourself, right? Cancer energy is all about that. This transit, that's what I was talking about. I found it again. This transit is trying to break you away from things that weren't serving you in order to expand you into the space that you were always meant to be in. This is divine timing. You don't have to believe in fate or destiny because we do have free will and free choice in this life. You can choose to believe in yourself and to believe in this, or you can choose to not. Neither is wrong. It is just your choice. So Jupiter is just unlocking you to your true choice. And that's all that matters, whatever is true to you. So Jupiter and Cancer energy. When Jupiter moves through Cancer, growth happens through emotional awareness, healing, nurturing, and reconnecting with your inner self. This isn't loud expression. This is inner expansion. I meant to say this isn't loud expansion. This is inner expansion, not expression. I said it and then I was like, I heard it come in my mouth and I was like, we're just going to finish it and then we'll go backwards. So what it's been teaching you over this transit that you might have experienced, and let me know in the comments if you have experienced any of these emotions, learned these lessons, because it's a wonderful conversation to have just to see how other people are experiencing the energy as well. But have you experienced deeper emotions coming up when it comes to any of those themes that I talked about with Cancer energy, home, family, safety, your emotions, your inner world, your nurturing, even your mind space, right? Cancer is a big reflective energy. I think it's ruled by the moon, and the moon is the mind space. It reflects and understands the actions and why we choose to take an action. That is what the moon is here to do. It is here to understand our actions and to give emotional awareness to that. So have you felt like you've had any deep emotions come up in your life in that way? Any reflections on family or childhood during this transit or right now? And remember, we're still going to be in this transit until June 30th. So you still have a couple more months if you're watching this in real time. If not, just know that this is what happens and Jupiter will transit Cancer again. So also, things that could be coming up that it could be looking to teach you is healing around your relationships with your mother or caregivers. This is a big one, okay, that is going to be experienced energetically collectively. That nurturing force, it can be your biological mother or the mother figure in your life that raised you. It could be prominent nurturing figures in your life. If it's not even, and don't just weigh this down to feminine form energy, just feminine energy in general, that nurturing space that holds the space for you, healing that relationship. Because once we heal our relationship with our inner nurturer and our own mother, if it's external, you're able to actually mother yourself because you understand that your mother is also a human. Also someone that is experiencing this life, and you might start to see it in a different way, and then your approach to that relationship might become different. or any caregiver in your life. Remember, it's not just about your biological mother. It also could be how you nurture yourself and the safety and guidance and emotional grace that you give to yourself in your nurturing way. That could be healing with your own inner world. And also, it's trying to teach you a desire to feel safe, supported, and home within yourself. This is a really big one, you guys. Like, this is probably, to me, one of the biggest themes that this Jupiter in Cancer transit is looking to teach. It is trying to teach you to learn to feel safe and supported and at home within yourself, so that no matter where you are in the world or what is going on in your outside world, you bring that energy with you. And the more you bring that energy into the world, the more the world will reflect that. So if you have the mindset and the belief that the world is a unsafe, scary place that's non-helpful, non-supportive, and it's always a battlefield, that is the world that you are going to experience. But if you start understanding that as long as you feel safe within yourself, supported, and at home, that is going to reflect into the world. If you're trying to make a change in this world and have a better world, this is one of the best ways that you can go about doing it. So start with you first and then lead the change. But to tell the world to change because you don't think that it's right, that this is happening, is going not necessarily with an opposing energy, because it's good to bring an awareness to something, right? That's also, sorry, that was gross, but I start to leak when I speak about this stuff. It's so funny. It's so fluid. I got a lot of water energy in me, so. But yeah, when you're trying to tell the world that like they need to change because that's not right and it's oppressing, you have to understand that there's energy that is here to make you feel that way in order for you to look at it and be like, I see you. That's not for me, but I'm going to choose to interact with this through love and interact with this through growth. If you see something of oppression happening, instead of trying to just fight that oppression, try to create something to where those or that oppressed energy is being oppressed, maybe has another alternative or option to not being oppressed. That's Jupiter and Cancer energy. It's creating expansion of growth and not just trying to change something that's already here. Sometimes things are not meant to be changed. They're meant to be experienced so you can bring something else into the energy. And that's how the change becomes known, because now you're bringing in more energy instead of trying to change the energy that's already in existence. You can do it. It's just a much more challenging road, and you really would have to have the mental energy to be able to fight that fight, and not everyone is built that way. If you're built that way, rock it out. Rock it out. If you're not built that way, lead with the self, okay? It's a much faster change and a much faster growth for the world to heal in that way. When you make the world a better place, you heal the world by healing yourself and by treating the world with love and the people that live in this world with love, even the people that don't agree with you or oppose the way that you believe. Lead with love. That's one of the best things you can do. So I just want to reflect for a moment, right? You can do it with me too if you feel called to, but I always think it's a really wonderful thing to do, especially when we're talking about Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is all about wisdom. And the only way to achieve wisdom is through reflection, right? You can absorb all the time. But if you don't take the time to embody the information, then it will never turn into wisdom, because the key to wisdom is within the reflection piece of it. So let's tap into our wisdom and reflect. Have I been more emotional than usual? That's like a question that I asked myself. And I've experienced a lot of emotions and a lot of changes. My relationship with emotions is way more balanced than it's ever been, but I allow myself to feel an emotion. But because I allow myself to feel the emotion and I don't feel any guilt, shame, or try to hide that I'm feeling an emotion, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, that emotion usually doesn't last very long before it transitions into something a lot lighter or into something else. So yes, I've been feeling more emotions, but my relationship with them has been different. So it's a good question to ask yourself just to gauge where you're at. Have you been feeling more emotional than usual? Have I been revisiting old patterns? That is a definite yes for me. I have definitely been revisiting old patterns, and they have been coming up, different situations and experiences that I've been going through, and I've been making different choices in them. And that's been amazing to actually see myself, because now when I make a choice, I am 100% conscious. I don't just make the choice off of impulse. And if I do make the choice off of impulse, I am okay with going backwards and being like, you didn't mean that, or even telling the person, I didn't mean that. I said that really fast, and I'm gonna just redo it, re-say it. Give yourself the grace to re-say it. You don't have, just if you say something and it doesn't align with you, and the moment it comes out of your mouth that you said it and it didn't align, you can go in there and clean it up. Go and change. It's okay. Give yourself the grace of being able to change in the moment if you need to. So I've been noticing that I've been doing that way more, like catching myself falling into old patterns, and they've been coming up in order for me to do that and now be conscious. 2112, I just saw on the clock. There's a very mirroring energy, right, of creation, and creation through the nurturing space that holds that sovereign leadership energy, and then reversing it where the leader becomes the nurturing space. That's what 2112 always looks like to me. But yeah, that's off topic, but I just saw that and I felt it. I was like, oh gosh, that was such a divine energy for me. And then the last reflection moment question that you can ask yourself is, have I been learning how to care for myself differently? Have you been learning how to care for yourself differently? Cancer is all about I care. And a lot of times society will try to spin cancers as Cancer energy cares so much about others. And yes, Cancer energy does care about others, but to be honest, that is a very unevolved Cancer energy when it comes from that standpoint, because what Cancer energy, as it learns to evolve, starts to realize is the I care starts within. It's an internal, right? Think about where Cancer traditionally falls in the natal chart. It's in the 4th house, the I see, the lowest and most hidden and private part of the chart, and then it moves forward. So once you, as a Cancer energy, and I'm speaking to anyone who has strong Cancer energy right now, I'm just going to give you a little gem from one Cancer to another, and I got a lot of Cancer energy. The more you start to care for yourself first, the more you can care for others in the right way, because you're actually going to show up and have enough to give. So for all my Cancers out there, or anyone who's experiencing Cancer energy, and that is everyone right now because Jupiter is in Cancer, the more you expand and care for yourself, your beliefs, your safety, your wisdom, your knowledge, the more you are going to be able to share that wisdom that you get from the experience of caring for yourself and share it with others. I don't want your care if you're trying to care for me for what you think is good for me. I want your care for you trying to care for me for what you learned about how to care for yourself, okay? That is the best type of care to have. 23, these 2 3s are hitting me, okay? And that's a 5. We're transitioning, we're moving the energy, okay? So with that, we'll keep moving on. But this is work. This is what this is. That's what our reflection is. This is work. Jupiter is here to have us do work. And work does not have to be a word that brings fear or brings, oh God, woe is me, I don't want to go to work. Once the work starts to become self-serving, it is no longer unenjoyable. It becomes bliss every day in order to work on yourself and play with yourself and expand yourself. And that's what this energy is looking to show us. So, how to use this final phase. As Jupiter moves through the final degrees of Cancer, this is integration time from 15 degrees now until it hits 00 in transiting into Leo. If you're watching this in real time or anytime the energy is here, right? This is where you reflect on what you've learned, right? That's the biggest piece that I can ever give you about getting wisdom and knowledge is reflection. It's the idea, it's the knowledge, it's the wisdom. It goes in that order. I don't care what anyone says. Fight me on it in the comments if you want. I do love a good debate. I got Libra energy in me too. And I always think that just because I feel like it's right doesn't mean that it's right for you. You might feel like what is right for you, and I'm going to be like, yeah, that's right, because it's all right, because it's yours. But again, it is one of the biggest things to me is the reflection. So reflect on what you've learned over this transit, over the last year, soften into what you've been resisting. If you feel that resistance, soften up a little bit, okay? You can give yourself the grace to soften up. No one cares. I'm just going to be honest with you. And if they do say they care, then you need to ask yourself if you care to even have them in your life. Because if not, they got to go. Because if you feel yourself resisting and you feel like you want to soften, or you feel like you don't want to be acting like that or behaving like that, don't. Just give yourself the grace to change. It's yours. It's your right. Okay? It's your right. You have the right to fight for your life. You do. You just do. Okay? And then it's also about nurturing the parts of you that need attention. Okay? This is straight up Cancer energy. Going in right now and integrating any part that you're finding that just needs a little bit of love, a little self-care, a little extra safety, a little extra protection. Maybe telling that person, hey, you know what? I don't like this when you talk to me like that. That's okay. If you feel like you need to say that, say it. If you feel like you need to leave being around certain energies, certain people, certain things and experience because they are not serving you, don't feel safe there, you don't feel any growth there, you don't feel like yourself there, leave. Nurture the parts of yourself that need attention. If there are areas in your life right now where you do not feel fulfilled, in bliss, and in joy, ask yourself, what have I learned from experiencing that? And through what I've learned, is there anything that I'm resisting, not making the action to move towards? And if there is there anything that I can give attention to in my life and break away from, restart, redo? Now is the time to ask yourself that. There's a beautiful energy going around to help you with this. All you have to do is ask. Ask and you shall receive. Like, ask for the help. You don't have to ask for help from anyone else. You can if you have those resources around you. That's wonderful. But ask it from yourself. That's what reflection is. Yourself will tell you. And all you have to do is have the courage to trust yourself and to change. That's it. Make the choice. And change does not have to be long. It can be, but change is an instant. It's a choice in that moment. Just make that choice right there. And then the next moment you make another choice. The next moment you make another choice. The next moment you make another choice. And the next thing you know, you look back in hindsight and reflection and you've changed. You've changed. So instead of asking, what do I need to do? Ask, what do I need to feel right now? What do I need to feel my best, to feel in bliss? And whatever comes up, you can write this down. This could be a great journal prompt for you to just figure it out, because sometimes when we write, it makes us take the thought and give it enough time to write it down, and then you can read it back. So it's an automatic integrated reflection piece into it. What do I need to feel good right now? What do I need to feel good right now? Do I need to not talk to this person? Do I need to leave this relationship? Do I need to extract myself from there? Do I need to go and take this class? Do I need to go and travel here? Do I need to go and start this routine? What do you need to feel? Does it feel good? Follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. It will lead you to yourself every time. So this energy supports your inner child healing right now. Take care of your inner baby, okay? Emotional regulation right now. Learn to balance your emotions and learn when your emotions are getting thrown in a direction that you don't want them to go. And if you acted and behaved in a way that an emotion threw you and you didn't like it, that's okay. Just recognize that and become aware of that so that when that emotion comes back, because it will, you can make a different choice. Reconnecting with your body, right? The home space. This is your home. This is your temple. This is your vessel, your altar. This is it. Reconnect with it. Go within this. See what feels good in here. And then redefine what home really means to you. That could be a great thing also to write down. What is home for me? What does home feel like? And don't base it on what home you didn't have or what you wish, your home was. No. If you wish it to be the way, then what is it? What does home feel like? What does it feel like? And sometimes becoming your own safe space, right? Becoming that castle for the self, that healing and nurturing ground, right? Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. There is shadow side to this energy as well, because there's duality in everything in life, right? This energy can also bring up themes of emotional overwhelm, right? You can be feeling emotionally overwhelmed, but that emotional overwhelm is only coming in order for you to really process the energy, in order to see why you're becoming overwhelmed so you can realign. Same thing with the energy of retreating too much, right? Where are you not standing up for yourself? Where are you not protecting yourself? If you find yourself doing that at this time, it is to show you where you need to be your own knight, where you need to be your own guardian. And then also a shadow energy could be staying in the past. This energy could be showing you where you're stuck in the past and you're not moving forward right now. Cancer is a lot about reflection, and that can be a lot of past energy, because you can only reflect on what has happened. You cannot reflect on the future. That's not reflection. That is vision, right? Future vision. But reflection is to look back. When I'm looking in this camera, I'm seeing the reflection of myself. But this already existed. If this was not here, that would not exist. So Cancer energy can do that. And if you find yourself getting stuck in the past, ask yourself, how do I feel about this past experience? And what does this past experience keep pulling me to, that I can find some growth and the gift from, so that I can leave that past behind and grow into what it's trying to allow me to release? It is the time to release. Moon energy is Cancer, and Jupiter is in moon energy in Cancer. So Jupiter is looking to release you from something in order to expand you into something. So this is balance. Feel, but don't get stuck there. We want movement with Jupiter energy. That's the best way to sink your teeth into Jupiter and Cancer work. So the next thing that's going to happen after Jupiter finishes the beautiful transition through Cancer is it's going to transit into Leo. And this is a very important shift, right? At the end of June, Jupiter moves into Leo. And at this time, I'm recording this in March of 2026. So 2026, Jupiter is going to move into Leo in June. If you're not watching it in 2026, and this is further into the future that you are watching it, Jupiter is going to transit into Leo at another time. It is always going to transit into Leo. Whoever is watching this video, as long as it exists, it is a cycle. But during this transit, that's going to change everything for you. We go from feeling to expressing, from inner nurturing to outer creation. Leo says, now show it. So whatever you have gone in and healed inside of Cancer energy, and now have gained the wisdom through the reflection of the experiences and becoming present and aware of what was going on, now whatever you have learned to feel that resonates with you, now is the time to express it. Now you are bringing that beautiful healed energy into the world. So what this means for you is everything you've been healing in Cancer will become something you express, something you create and embody in Leo. So this is the moment right now to prepare for that, to get your healing in line to serve you in the best way. Jupiter in Cancer is not trying to rush you. Water does not rush, and water can work through everything. So don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you're behind. I don't care if you watch this and it's the last day of Jupiter being in Cancer, or Jupiter has already transitioned into Leo. You get to determine when you do the work, and always carry this energy in with you. But the energy is always going to be moving. Even if you're not conscious of it, it's happening and it's working inside of you. It's just when you become conscious of this work, it takes on a different feeling. It takes on a different expression. It takes on a different speed. When people talk about quantum leaping, this is how you do it. when you're conscious of it, okay? Yes, there are energetic windows that can amplify it, but remember, you are your own energy source. So don't feel scared, don't feel left out, don't feel like you're going to miss it or you have to do it. Do this work if it feels right for you right now. And if it doesn't feel right or you don't feel called for you, it might not be for you to do it right now. Trust your intuition, trust yourself. This energy is reminding you that growth doesn't only happen outwardly. Sometimes the most important expansion is the one that happens within. And that is Jupiter and Cancer energy to a T. And I had such a beautiful day today, experiencing and seeing myself inside of my own Jupiter expansion energy. And I cannot wait for the rest of this transit and to see the beauty that it brings and the wisdom that I gain. I know I'm going to get a gem in this transit. I always think of it as going through these transits and expansions and collecting gems. And I'm getting my gem because I feel it already now. Now it's just inevitable and it's just a matter of space. So I wish you nothing but the most beautiful healing experience on your Jupiter in Cancer transit. May it bring you everything that you desire in this world. May it release from you everything that is holding you back from being your true and authentic self. If you have any questions about Jupiter in Cancer, put it in the comments. Any stories about Jupiter in Cancer, also put it in the comments, let me know. Hit the little like button for me if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want to continue going on the journey of just learning and exploring the world through systems and this beautiful gift that we have called life. It has been nothing but a pleasure to spend this time with you. I have a yummy sandwich and soup waiting for me and a piece of banana pudding cake. So I'm very excited to get these posted and enjoy my evening. So I hope you enjoy your evening as well. And just remember, you're healing perfectly. And I love you.